Umberto Science. Today's lessons, we're going to cover pages 385 to 390. Now yesterday, I asked you to go ahead and complete exercise 29 on page 385. We're going to go over the responses here. And this is using whether or not or even if. Okay, from chart 17.8 on page 384. So let's go ahead and start on situation 2. Cindy's uncle tells a lot of jokes. Sometimes they're funny and sometimes they're not. It doesn't matter. Cindy laughs at the jokes whether they are funny or not. So here would say they are funny and then or not. And then in B, Cindy laughs at the jokes even if they are not funny. Situation 3. Maybe you are finished with the exam and maybe you're not. It doesn't matter. The time is up. You have to hand in your examination paper whether you are finished or not. And B, you have to hand in your examination paper even if you are not finished. Situation 4. Max's family doesn't have enough money to send him to college. He would like to get a scholarship, but it doesn't matter because he saved some money to go to school and has a part-time job. So in A, okay, here, Max can go to school whether or not he gets a scholarship. Whether or not he gets a scholarship. And B, Max can go to school even if he doesn't get a scholarship. Even if he doesn't get a scholarship. Situation 5. Sometimes the weather is hot and sometimes the weather is cold. It doesn't matter. My grandfather always wears his gray sweater. So you say, my grandfather wears his gray sweater whether or not the weather is cold. Whether or not the weather is cold. And B, my grandfather always wears his gray sweater even if the weather is hot. Or even if it isn't cold. Both would work. Even if the weather is hot or even if the weather isn't cold. Situation 6. Your approval doesn't matter to me. Letter A. I'm going to marry Harry whether you approve or not. Whether you approve or not. B. I'm going to marry Harry even if you don't approve. Even if you don't approve. And now, number 7. It might snow or it might not. We don't want to go camping in the snow, but it doesn't matter. We're going to go camping in the mountains whether it snows or not. Whether it snows or not. And we're going to go camping in the mountains even if it snows. Even if it snows. If you look at the picture, it's a dark, cold night. There's snow on the ground, snow on the trees. So would you like to go camping during such a night? Not me. I like the comforts of a warm home. All right. Let's go on to exercise 30. On exercise 30, this is a warm-up or introduction for chart 17.9. Adverb clause is a condition using in case. Okay? So here it says, choose a sentence, A or B, that has the same meaning as the given sentence. If by chance you have a problem, you can reach me at this number. Now, which one has the same meaning, A or B? In case you have a problem, you can reach me at this number. When you have a problem, you can reach me at this number. What do you think? Is it A or B? So the correct response is going to be A. In case you have a problem. That means if by chance you have a problem. So here, in case has the same meaning as if by chance. It's not something that's planned. It's something that could occur. For example, let's say that Valerie went to the store, to the supermarket, and she runs into Mariana. They didn't plan to meet at the supermarket. It was just by chance. They were there at the same supermarket at the same time, and they saw each other and stopped to talk. Okay? It wasn't planned. It was just something by chance. So we look now at the explanation in chart 17.9. Adverb clauses of condition using in case. Number 1. I'll be at my uncle's let me start again. I'll be at my uncle's house in case you should need to reach me. You notice that should is in parentheses. That's not necessary. Okay? But it emphasizes the need of uncertainty. Okay? So you can say, I'll be at my uncle's house in case you need to reach me. But if you use should, it increases the need or emphasizes the need of uncertainty. In case expresses the idea that something probably won't happen, but it might. In case means if by chance this should happen. Note, using should in an adverb clause emphasizes the speaker's uncertainty that something will happen. Okay? So remember, this is when you use in case, it means if by chance. It's not planned event. It's just something that might happen by chance. Okay? And when you use should in the sentence, it just emphasizes the degree of uncertainty. So, look at exercise 31. Combine each pair of sentences. Begin your new sentence with in case. I'm just letting you know. That's the theme. You probably won't need to get in touch with me, but maybe you will. If so, I'll give you my cell number. So here, in case you should need to get in touch with me, I'll give you my cell number. Or, in case you need to get in touch with me, I'll give you my cell number. Let's look at number 2. In number 2, you probably won't need to see me, but maybe you will. If so, I'll be in my office tomorrow morning around 10. So here, we're going to delete the first sentence. Okay, and, okay, actually all the way to the end. This cursor's not working correctly, but let me try again. So here you're going to say, in case. And now we're going to take this. You need to see me. Or, in case you should need to see me, comma. I'll be in my office tomorrow morning around 10. Again. In case you should need to see me, comma. I'll be in my office tomorrow morning around 10. Now, go ahead and do number 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll give you a couple of minutes and then we'll check our answers. Okay, let's look at number 3. I don't think you need any more information, but maybe you do. If so, you can call me. Okay, so here you would start with, in case you have any more questions, you can call me, comma, you can call me. Again, in case you need any more information, you can call me. In case you need any more information, comma, you can call me. Number 4. You probably don't have any more questions, but maybe you do. If so, ask Dr. Smith. So here, in case you have any more questions, ask Dr. Smith. Again, in case you have any more questions, comma, ask Dr. Smith. Okay? Number 5. The dentist probably won't call, but maybe she will. If so, come get me. I'll be outside. So here, you're going to start at the beginning. In case the dentist calls, come get me. I'll be outside. Okay? Again, in case the dentist calls with an S, comma, come get me, period. I'll be outside. And number 6. I hope you're happy with your present, but maybe it won't work. If not, you can return it to the store and get something else. So here, in case you're not happy with your present, you can return it to the store and get something else. Again, in case you are not happy with your present, comma, you can return it to the store and get something else. Period. Okay. So number 2, just to go over these again. In number 2, in case you should need to see me, comma, I'll be in my office tomorrow morning around 10. Number 3, in case you should need any more information, comma, you can call me. Number 4, in case you have any more questions, comma, ask Dr. Smith. Number 5, in case the dentist calls, comma, come get me, period. I'll be outside. And number 6, in case you are not happy with your present, comma, you can return it to the store and get something else. All right. So if we look now at the next page or exercise, complete the sentences with your own words. Okay? Now this is talking about bad weather. If you remember the last cycle, the January-February cycle, we had a couple of days that we had bad weather in class, where the first hour classes were canceled. Classes started until 10 o'clock. So in number 1, look at this. Now remember, you can use your own words. Our boss doesn't accept bad weather as an excuse for missing work. We have to go to work even if the weather is bad. Again, we have to go to work even if the weather is bad. So, let's look at number 2. The weather is getting worse. I may not be able to make it home tonight. If not, comma, I will stay in town. Or if not, I will sleep in the office. Or if not, I will get a room in town. Number 3. Go ahead and do number 3, number 4, and number 5 with your own words, and we can compare or check answers. Okay? Remember, since you're using your own words, we'll have different possibilities. Okay? So number 3, the trains might not be running. These are talking about commuter trains that people take from the suburbs into the city to go to work and then back to the suburbs to go home in the evening. The trains might not be running. I'd better drive my car in case the trains are not running. I'd better carpool with a friend in case the trains aren't running. Okay. Number 4. I may stay in town tonight. If so, I'll go to a movie. If so, I'll eat dinner at a restaurant. If so, I'll stay with some friends. And number 5. I packed a change of clothes today in case I don't go home. In case I have to stay in town. In case I can't take the train or drive home. Now, if we look at exercise 33, choose the logical completion for each sentence. I'll be at the meeting on time if there blank a lot of traffic. Is it if there is or if there isn't? What do you think? Is or isn't? I'll be at the meeting on time if there, the correct answer, isn't a lot of traffic. Number 2. I'll be at the meeting on time unless there is or isn't a lot of traffic. What do you think? Is or isn't? I'll be at the meeting on time unless there is the correct answer, a lot of traffic. The first one, affirmative. Number 3. My manager won't be coming unless she feels better or unless she feels worse. My manager won't be coming unless she feels, and here the correct answer is better. Number 4. My manager won't be coming if she feels better or worse. My manager won't be coming if she feels worse. Okay? And that's a warm-up for chart 1710. Adverb clauses of condition using unless. Okay? So, on chart 1710, I'll go swimming tomorrow unless it's cold. B, I'll go swimming tomorrow if it isn't cold. You notice here we have if and then negative not. Unless means if not. In A, unless it cold means I'll go swimming tomorrow if it isn't cold. If it's cold, then I'm not going swimming. Examples A and B have the same meaning. Okay? So here, if and not means the same as unless. Okay? So if we look at exercise 34, restate each sentence with unless. FYI means for your information. Number 1, if you don't buy your ticket today, you won't get one. So here you say, unless you buy your ticket today, you won't get one. Let's do number 2 and 3 together. You can't travel to that country if you don't have a visa. So here you're going to say, you can't travel to that country unless you have a visa. You're going to take out if and don't. You can't travel to that country unless you have a visa. Number 3. If you don't sign up for the test by Monday, you can take it next month. So here you're going to say, no if. Unless you, no negative. Unless you sign up for the test by Monday, you can't take it next month. Again, unless you sign up for the test by Monday, you can't take it next month. Go ahead and do number 4, 5, 6, and 7, and we'll check in a minute. So remember here we're eliminating if and the negative auxiliary. Number 4, it's difficult to return a product to that store if you don't have a receipt. So you're going to say it's difficult to return a product to that store unless you have a receipt. Again, it's difficult to return a product to that store unless you have a receipt. Number 5. You can't get a motorcycle license if you haven't passed a special training course. Okay? So here, you can't get a motorcycle license unless you have, affirmative, passed a special training course. Eliminate if and not. You can't get a motorcycle license unless you have passed a special training course. Number 6. The store won't accept your credit card if you don't have ID with you. Again, the store won't accept your credit card if you don't have ID with you. So here you're going to say the store won't accept your credit card unless you have ID with you. The store won't accept your credit card unless you have ID with you. No if, no not. No don't actually. And number 7. Traffic fines increase if you don't pay them right away. Traffic fines increase unless you pay them right away. Again, traffic fines increase unless, no if, you, no don't, pay them right away. Unless you pay them right away. Okay. Let's look at exercise 35. On exercise 35, ladies and gentlemen, it says complete the sentences with your own words. So here, again, you're going to complete these with your own words, and you can, you'll have a variety of answers. But we'll go ahead and give some examples afterwards. So go ahead and do numbers 2 through 11, but let's look at number 1 first. You can't speak to the manager unless you have an appointment. You can't speak to the manager unless someone else cannot help you. Okay? So let's do number 2 together. You can't pay with a check unless you have a proper ID. You can't pay with a check unless you have a proper ID. Okay? So go ahead and do numbers 3 through 11. I'll give you a couple of minutes, and then we'll come and check some answers and just, to see. Remember, all the answers will probably vary from student to student because these are your own words. Okay, number 3. Some students won't be able to pass unless they study for the final exam. Unless they study for the final exam. Number 4. How about you can't go on vacation unless you save more money? Or you can't buy a new car unless you save more money. Or you can't buy a new house unless you save more money. Number 5, unless you spend more time with your kids, they might rebel against you. Or unless you spend more time with your kids, they will be influenced by their friends instead of you. Number 6, this is so true today. Some stores will close permanently unless people shop in person instead of online. Or some stores will close permanently unless this coronavirus pandemic is finished soon. Number 7, I will look for another job unless I get a raise in salary. Or I won't be happy at this job unless I get a raise in salary. Number 8, I'm going to buy a new car unless I don't like the one I want. Or I'm going to go to Disneyland unless it is still closed in June. Number 9. Here's one. Unless you read the recipe carefully, your pancakes won't come out fluffy and delicious. Or, unless you get at least 7 hours of sleep every night, you will be sleepy the next day. Number 10. Interest and penalties on your bill will continue to increase unless you pay your bill on time. And number 11. Unless this coronavirus disappears, I won't see you all in person again. All right. Those are just possible answers. I'm sure you all have different answers. Okay? Let's look at exercise 36 here, ladies and gentlemen. Answer the questions about Scott. Here's the situation. Scott closes his bedroom window at night only if it is raining hard. Okay, that's the only condition, that he'll close his bedroom window. So yes or no? Does Scott close his bedroom window if the temperature is below freezing? No. Does Scott close his bedroom window if it is windy outside? No. Does Scott close his bedroom window if there's a light rain? No. Does Scott close his bedroom window if there is a heavy rain? Yes. So only if it is raining hard, so it's heavy rain. Okay? So here, that introduces chart 1711 on page 388. So here, we look at it. Adverb clauses of condition using only if. Okay? Now, you have to pay special attention to this particular chart because we're going to see something like in example B that is going to be very important. Okay? Look at example A. We have several examples. The picnic will be canceled only if it rains. That's the only condition. The only particular result. If it's windy, we'll go on the picnic. If it's cold, we'll go on the picnic. If it's damp and foggy, we'll go on the picnic. If it's unbearably hot, we'll go on the picnic. Only if expresses the idea that there is only one condition that will cause a particular result. In this particular case, if it rains. Okay? So only if it rains, the picnic will be canceled. It doesn't matter if the weather is inclement with other types of weather like windy, cold, damp and foggy, which is very humid, or unbearably hot. Like if you lived in this area, in El Paso Juarez area, in June and July, you know that it's unbearably hot. But the picnic will still continue. Only if it rains will the picnic be canceled. Okay? That's the only condition that will cause that picnic to be canceled. Okay? So, and we can see that we go back to exercise 36, we see that only if it's raining hard, that's the only condition that Scott will close his bedroom window. Okay? Look at B. Only if it rains will the picnic be canceled. Okay? Now, here, look at this explanation. When only if begins a sentence, the subject and verb of the main clause will be inverted, as in B. This is a less common usage and no commas are used. So here, only if is used at the beginning. It's beginning the sentence. Only if it rains. Instead of saying the picnic will be canceled, no, we invert the picnic and will. Like in B, the picnic will be canceled, no. But here, only if is at the beginning, only if it rains, will the auxiliary first, the picnic, subject is second, be canceled. Okay? So remember that when you have only if, you're going to invert the subject and the verb in the main clause. Okay? So if we look at exercise 37. Check the sentences that are true for the situation. Here's the situation. You can take Saturday off only if you work Thursday. So, what do you think? Number one, you must work Thursday if you want Saturday off. Yes. Number two, you can take Saturday off if you work another day of your choice. No, because it's only if you work Thursday. So no, number two is no. Number three, if you work Thursday, you don't have to work Saturday. Yes. Number four, you can work Thursday, but it's not a requirement if you want Saturday off. You can work Thursday, but it's not a requirement if you want Saturday off. No. Because only if you work Thursday, you can take Saturday off. So here, using only if on exercise 38, you can say, situation 1. John must take an additional science class in order to graduate. That is the only condition under which he can graduate. If he doesn't take an additional science class, he can't graduate. So you say he can graduate only if he takes an additional science class. Let's do number 2. 2 and 3 together, okay? You have to have an invitation in order to go to the party. That is the only condition under which you will be admitted. If you don't have an invitation, you can't go. You can go to the party only if you have an invitation. You can go to the party only if you have an invitation. Situation 3. You have to have a student visa in order to study here. Unless you have a student visa, you cannot go to school here. You can attend this school only if you have a student visa. Only if you have a student visa. So go ahead and do numbers 6 through 10, and then we're going to check. Now remember, if only if starts the sentence, you're going to invert the subject and the verb in the main clause. Okay, let's look at number 4. Jimmy's mother doesn't want him to chew gum, but sometimes he chews it anyway. So here you would say Jimmy chews gum only if he's sure his mother won't find out. Jimmy chews gum only if he's sure his mother won't find out. Number 5. If you want to go to the movie, we'll go. If you don't want to go, we won't go. We will go to the movies only if you want to. We will go to the movie only if you want to. Situation 6. The temperature has to reach 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius before water will freeze. Water will freeze only if the temperature reaches 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. Number 7. You must study hard. Then you will pass the exam. So here, only if is at the beginning of the sentence. Only if you study hard will you pass the exam. Again, only if you study hard will you pass the exam. Situation 8. You have to have a ticket. Then you can get into the soccer stadium. Only if you have a ticket can you get into the soccer stadium. Again, because only if is at the beginning. Only if you have a ticket can you get into the soccer stadium. Remember to invert the subject and the verb in the main clause. Look at number 9. His parents make Joseph finish his homework before he can have screen time. Only if Joseph finishes his homework can he have screen time. Again, because only if is at the beginning, you're going to invert the subject and verb in the main clause. Only if Joseph finishes his homework can he have screen time. Number 10. I have to get a job. Then I will have enough money to go to school. Only if I get a job will I have enough money to go to school. Only if I get a job will I have enough money to go to school. All right. Now, in exercise number 39, we're going to write 2 sentences. One with only if, and another one with unless. Look at number 1. An illness, that means you're sick. If you don't stay in bed and rest, you won't recover quickly from the virus. So the first one. You will recover quickly from the virus only if you stay in bed and rest. And you won't recover quickly from the virus unless you stay in bed and rest. So remember, we have to use one sentence with only if and another one with unless. Number 2. If you don't see the doctor in person, she won't give you a prescription. So here you would say, unless you see the doctor in person, comma, she won't give you a prescription. Unless you see the doctor in person, comma, she won't give you a prescription. And here for the next one, using only if you see the doctor in person, will she give you a prescription. Only if you see the doctor in person, will she give you a prescription. Number 3. If you don't have a fever, you can go back to work. So here, okay, and then this one, unless you have a fever, you can't go back to work. Unless you have a fever, comma, you can't go back to work. And with only if you don't have a fever, can you go back to work. Only if you don't have a fever, can you go back to work. Go ahead and do number 4, 5, 6, and 7. Give you a couple of minutes for that. We'll check in a minute. Number 4. Only if you don't need my help right now, comma, will I leave for a few hours. Only if you don't need my help right now, comma, will I leave for a few hours. And with unless you need my help right now, comma, I will leave for a few hours. Unless you need my help right now, comma, I will leave for a few hours. Number 5. If you don't have a doctor's note, you can't take sick time. So here, only if you have a doctor's note, comma, can you take sick time. Only if you have a doctor's note, comma, can you take sick time, and can is affirmative, not negative. And with unless you have a doctor's note, comma, you can't take sick time. Unless you have a doctor's note, comma, you can't take sick time. And number 6. If you don't call the pharmacy now, your prescription won't be ready. So here with only if you call the pharmacy now, will your prescription be ready on time. Only if you call the pharmacy now, comma, will your prescription be ready on time. And with unless you call the pharmacy now, comma, your prescription won't be ready on time. Unless you call the pharmacy now, comma, your prescription won't be ready on time. And number 7. If you don't take your medicine, you won't get well quickly. Unless you take your medicine, you won't get well quickly. Unless you take your medicine, you won't get well quickly. And only if you take your medicine, comma, will you get well quickly. Only if you take your medicine will you get well quickly. All right, we're now going to do exercise 40, so let's go on to exercise 41. And in this particular case, we have an exercise 31. Check your knowledge. This is a chapter 17 review. Remember, chapter 16 was about 10 pages long, chapter 17 about 20 pages long. So that's why we're done so quickly. But please remember, we only have the rest of this week and 4 days next week to finish chapters 18, 19, and 20. So we'll be moving at a faster pace, ladies and gentlemen. And you might ask, faster? Can we go any faster than this? Yes, we're going to have to. Okay? To get just to get all the material that we need to cover done. So on exercise 41, correct the errors. Look at number 1. Once we pay our bills, we'll have little money left over for the holiday. Okay? So here, the error is will, no will. Once we pay our bills, comma, we'll have little money left over for the holidays. No will. Let's do number 2 together. In the case there is an emergency, comma, call the number on this paper. The error here is no the between in and case. In case there is an emergency, comma, call the number on this paper. Remember, there's no the. Number 3. While my parents live nearby, comma, my siblings don't. This is giving us direct contrast. So here, capital M. My parents live nearby, comma, while my siblings don't. Capital M. My parents live nearby, comma, while my siblings don't, because this is direct contrast. Go ahead and do number 4 through 10, please. I'll give you a couple of minutes and then we'll check. Okay. Unless you have a doctor's note, you can take sick time from work. So this is unless. Unless you have a doctor's note, comma, you can't, negative, take sick time from work. Again, unless you have a doctor's note, comma, you can't Negative, take sick time from work. Number 5. If tenants will have any questions about the apartment, they need to contact the manager. So here the error is will, no will. If tenants have any questions about the apartment, comma, they need to contact the manager. Again, if tenants have any questions about the apartment, comma, they need to contact the manager. Number 6, we're starting with only if. Only if you help me, I will clean the apartment. Since we're beginning with only if, we're going to invert the subject and the verb in the main clause. Only if you help me, will I clean the apartment. Only if you help me, will I clean the apartment. Number 7. When Joseph finished medical school at the age of 21. The error here is no when. So you take off when and you just say, Joseph finished medical school at the age of 21, period. Joseph finished school at the age of 21, period. No when. Number 8. You can have the last time we were at the theater on a holiday weekend, comma, there were very few people. Imagine going to a movie theater on Christmas Day. Very few people are going to be there. The last time we were at the theater on a holiday weekend, comma, there were very few people. Or the last time we were at the movie theater on a holiday weekend, comma, we bought popcorn and sodas. And it cost more than the movie tickets. Number 9. Even I get a promotion to manager, I won't relocate to another city. So here, you need if. Even if I get a promotion to manager, comma, I won't relocate to another city. It means it doesn't matter if I get a promotion to manager. I'm not going to relocate to another city. I want to stay where I'm at. So here, I care about you if or not you believe me. Now remember, even this from chapter 12. If cannot be followed by or not. So I care about you, okay, instead of if, whether or not you believe me. Or I care about you if you believe me or not. Okay, but or not cannot follow if directly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's lesson. Please look for an announcement so that we can do an interactive session that will be coming soon, hopefully today. Look for an announcement, check your emails, and I will let you know. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy. Take care.